Cub Scout leaders, please find a seat. If you're not a Cub Scout leader, I appreciate you staying, but if you could keep it down just a little bit, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. You're more than welcome to sit down because Cub Scouts need you too. So, number one, thank you so much for taking time, Cub Scout leaders. It has been a whirlwind of stuff going on between Joint Scout and yes, everybody's here. All the way through to the crossover point. At that point, then we kick you out.
All right.
It's been a really, it's been a lot of things going on. Joint Scouting Night, it seems like it was yesterday, because it was almost yesterday. You probably had at least one pack meeting, maybe even two. Den meetings are starting up. More than likely you're planning camping trips. There's a lot of stuff going on. Tons of stuff. Before we know it, Scouting for Food is here, and then, Christmas break, holiday, the winter festival breaks. It's just going to be moving faster. Don't stress. Reuse what you know. It's okay. Steal from other leaders. That's good too. That's what Roundtable's about. Don't reinvent the wheel. And that's what Roundtable's about. Next month's theme for Cub Scouting is citizenship. Lord Baden-Powell had a quote for everything. That man must have just sat around and just talked all the time. Because every time I turn around, there's a quote that fits. I'm like, no one is that good. But apparently he was. And I guess when you said, 80-some years old, you just keep talking about whatever you know. But it's very true. No one can pass through life any more than you can pass through a bit of country without leaving tracks behind. Those tracks may often be helpful to those coming after them and find their way. Such a true statement. As a Cub Scout leader, it's the old, been there, done that. Whether or not you were a scout when you were a kid or not doesn't matter. You were a kid. Now you're not. You've made the mistakes. You've run into the wrong things. You've done the right things. And hopefully now you're ready to model the right things for these boys and help them along the way. Citizenship is not a passive thing, but an education that continues through life. Citizenship and patriotism is a passion of mine. I created the Youth Patriotism Awards, this group over here, which is a nationwide award, a little over 4 years ago, because it is that kind of passion. Citizenship and patriotism is not my country's better than your country. It's I love my country and I want to make my country better. I want to make it better for me, I want to make it better for you, I want to make it better for everyone. And the way to do that is put action behind words. Citizenship is not a passive thing. Membership is, hey, I'm a member. What have you done lately? Nothing? Okay. Basically, in a lot of groups, it's like, if you pay the dues, hey, then we're good. Don't worry about it. But even that's an action. But true citizenship means you're educated. You know what's going on. You vote. You actually are involved with the dialogue. The dialogue's hard to stay up with these days. There's so many things going around, so many things flying around. Some are disagreeable, some are not. Some that make your blood boil. But thank goodness we live in a country that gives the right for someone else to say something that may just anger you beyond belief. That's their right. And it sure is a good country to be in where you can actually have that kind of dialogue. So, before we start and get too deep, who's new to Roundtable? Anybody first time? Oh, big crowd. Come on up. Come on up here. Where was the warning? This is easy. Hold on, I'm here. Someone do a Cub Scout thing. Hold on. And look to the crowd. Wow, this is great. Come on up. Come on up. Give me a line. This is great. This is my biggest crop yet. I should have come up with something bigger than what I did. Okay. Because I could have done such great skits. But anyway, I digress. What we're going to do is just real quickly your name, what pack number, and what your position is. That's it. It's pretty easy. I'll let you start.
Dave Weitzel, 1151 out of Ashburn. I'm the Tiger leader.
Whoa, in for an adventure.
Patrick McConville, pack 1162 out of Percival. I'm the committee chair.
Good.
Judy Barnes, the Redmond, pack 961, Round Hill. I'm the Lulos 2 den leader.
Mason Turner, pack 956 out of Sterling, and Tiger Den.
Tiger, another Tiger. All right.
Larry Dodge, pack 1156, committee chairman.
Okay.
Doing this with my grandson now. I already did it with my son before.
That's what we call the recycled leader. Recycling is good.
Tina Blocker, pack 982, popcorn kernel.
There is probably the least thanked position there is by far.
The most fun.
If you say so. No, actually, it's one of the least thanks, but it really is such a great job. Thank you for volunteering. Okay, so it's time for to shine. You know, Cub Scouts is about giving everyone a moment to shine. I'm going to do something very easy. Citizenship is our theme. So we're going to sing. And you're like, I don't know what to sing. Luckily, you're not singing by yourself. You're just starting us off. And it's a song everybody knows. God Bless America. Copyright 1938. So, before we start, everyone stand up because you can't sing sitting down. It's just not possible. Now, if my illustrious duties will start, everyone will join them, won't you? Yes, you will. They promise. Town Scout is trustworthy. So, God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you so much for coming out. I hope to see you tomorrow. The best part about Cub Scouts is the boys may say, I don't want to sing, I don't want to sing. Once you get them started, they love to sing. And you know what they love the best about singing? They love it when the adults sing and they're horrible at it. So I am perfect. I just sing louder. And the worse I am, the more they like it. So that's great. It's probably the only place I can go where singing out of key really badly is highly valued and applauded. So thank you so much. Notice I had to drop it down some of those words. So. All right, so Cub Scouts, it's all about teaching, about mentoring. And I provide a series of slides. I always do this, and people are like, why do you keep always showing us the Cub Scout sign? We should know this by now. It's okay if you know. But what if I've got someone here who's new, who's not sure? Maybe it's a good learning opportunity to the two fingers. They stand for obey and be fair. Everybody know that? Everyone goes, well, it's the wolf fears. It's the wolf fears. But it's to obey and be fair. It's also for 2 points from the law of the pack. So, now the Cub Scout sign is all the way up. I see this so often. That's just a Boy Scout wannabe. It's Cub Scout all the way up. So, if everyone will please stand and join me with the Cub Scout promise. Remembering the Cub Scout sign is all the way up. I, Brian Kale, promise to do my best, to do my duty, to guide my country, to help other people, and to obey the law of the pack. Law of the pack? The Cub Scout follows the Kale. The Cub Scout helps the pack go. The pack helps the Cub Scout grow. The Cub Scout gives goodwill. 2, you may be seated. Notice I have the words on the board. Why? Because it's not about whether you memorize it or not. It's an oath. It's a promise. It's about participation. I want you to actually be part of it. And if you're reading it, I'm still okay with that. I want you to be involved. If I trust everyone has memorized it, but you haven't, you don't really do anything, and you're not actually thinking about it. You're too busy being embarrassed by the fact you forgot the word. And truthfully, I want my parents to say it too, because it's an oath that they should be saying, because they're a Kale. So, and I know the parents don't know it. No chance. They didn't have to earn their Bobcat badge, so they have no chance. But the boys eventually will learn it. But continue to put it up there because it's not about being a crutch or anything. It's about taking away that possible moment of, oh, brain freeze. What's going on? And you just focus on the, what's going on and making the promise. It's important. Citizenship. Citizenship is one of the 12 core values. These are the 12 core values of Cub Scouts. If the program you're putting on doesn't have at least one of these in it, you're wrong. Don't do it. I'm hoping that what you're doing has more than one. It's really easy, but make sure, take a moment before you do your program, think through which one of the core values am I touching on. Why are you doing that? Because by knowing which one it is, it allows you to highlight it and maybe even ask the boys, hey guys, what do you think? Do you think that this was a way of showing respect? They're going, hey, how do you show respect? Okay, that's not a question. Now they have to actually answer. These are kind of things. By knowing which core value you're going to go after, you can actually bring them into the conversation. They're not just spectators, they're participants, having fun. Now, Citizenship. It relates directly to helpfulness. That's from the Boy Scout law. We promise as leaders to follow the Boy Scout law, 12 points. Why would Cub Scouts care? Because Cub Scouts is a preparation for Boy Scouts. That's why you're doing it. It's a ton of fun, yes, but it's a preparation for them to move to Boy Scouts, learn leadership, self-reliance, and be more young men of character. That's the purpose. Even a tiger, if you start talking about, this is about Boy Scouts, and Boy Scouts you get to do this and this and this, and we're learning things to get there, gets excited about it. And maybe only 6, but they've seen Boy Scouts. And if you start talking about fires and poking sharp sticks into a fire, they're on board. No, it's about teaching them that Cub Scouts is a transition to Boy Scouts. Especially once you get to a Weeblo point, they definitely should be doing the Scout law. You should be doing it at every den meeting. That should be the focus. You still may do the pack, law of the pack and the Cub Scout promise at your pack meeting, but at your den meetings, as a Weeblo, go to the Boy Scout law. Citizenship. Contributing service and showing responsibility. Yeah. We're going to demonstrate good citizenship and pack flag ceremonies, respect for people, strive for good neighbors. Yeah. I think there's more. Citizenship is the status of being a citizen, the quality of an individual's response to membership. Okay, I maybe I remember something, but how I take ownership for myself and want to better the organization I'm in is what defines citizenship. As a citizen of the United States, it is my job to uphold the laws, to understand the laws, and to, when I find a law that I believe is unjust, to, within the legal and moral code, find ways to change that law or to make modifications to my country. That's our job. We're participating citizens. If I don't vote, I completely have decided I'm not a participating citizen. If I'm not helping other people in my community, I'm not a participating citizen. If I do not reach a hand out to those in need in my community, I'm not a participating citizen. Because I have a responsibility to the other citizens. We're all together for success. We need to teach the boys that. Okay, so what's a boy understand? Being proud of his country and general understanding that people elect others to make decisions. That's what a boy understands. Especially in the last couple of months, they couldn't help but understand it. I mean, let's face it, you turn on TV and you see 25 political commercials and you see 2 minutes of television. Right? It doesn't matter which side of the coin you're on. It matters that it's okay to have the discourse and the conversation. It's important that ideas are being shared. That's what we need to teach the boys. That we are electing people to make decisions in a representative society. We are a republic. It is important to talk about that, we provide for our country and for others. That if we don't see things right or fair, we need to work to change it. There's a rule at school that, something's going on that, that's just not fair. Within a civil, and within the rules, working to change it for the better. They should want to do that. We can't just take. We have to be givers too. As Scouts, I hope we don't have to teach that one too hard, because Scouts naturally tend to, once they get the uniform on, their heart just grows 3 times bigger, and they always want to provide service. They feel great about doing it, and it doesn't take much to to provide that opportunity for it. Find every opportunity you can for service. Your boys love doing it, and it teaches them lifelong lessons. Help other people at all times. Give to others. As Spider-Man would say, with great power comes great responsibility, right? These kind of things. The boys resonate with this. And, we need to constantly try and understand what's going on and why. Can't have our head in the sand. I can't just show up and think, okay, I haven't really been paying attention. What are we doing? You need to be involved with your community, your neighborhood, your city, your state, your country. It's important to know these things. It's important to be informed and educated. So we want our boys to understand that they should try to do the same thing in their school. They need to understand what's going on in their school, what's going on in our community, your church, your synagogue, whatever your religious organization. What's going on? How can I help? How can I make it more successful? That's citizenship. So, but always the key here, no matter what of the core values, step back and think, how does a boy 6 to 11 think about it? Try putting it in his words. Because if you come out with a word, you're going to come out to explaining citizenship in a very constitutional law 101 type way, you lost them. Boys understand a very basic understanding. They've elected somebody in a class at one point. Use that as a method of talking about citizenship. They've helped other people that have maybe, they're currently down their luck or need that helping hand. Talk about citizenship. Those are the kind of things they understand. So, there's what they're hearing this every single day. This is what they're hearing and you have to overcome as a leader. My way is the only way. If you disagree, you're wrong. It's not the scouting way. It's not what we do. Respect other people and help other people. That's what we do. That's what scouts do. That's what we promise to do. And finally, winning is the most important thing. These are the two things they hear every day. Or at least they tend to get from a lot of different sources. That's not it. We need to define them that patriotism is a love for, devotion to our country. I love my country. I don't have to knock you down to make my love more. I don't have to hate some other country to love my country more. I love my country. And I want to do a lot for it. And I want to see it succeed and grow. I want to see it better for my children and my children's children. That's patriotism. So we need to teach our scouts that citizenship is about action, not just words. Words are easy. You know, if I sit back and I talk about, gosh, there sure seems to be a lot of kids at school that don't have any, that never have jackets on cold days. Okay, what do you want to do about it, son? Well, maybe we can give them some of our old jackets. Great idea. Maybe what else? Maybe we can ask our friends to also do the same thing. Better idea. What else? Well, maybe our teacher will let me make an announcement to our class. Better idea. Let them, they've got the heart for it. Give them the opportunity. They want to do it and they will do it. They will astound you. Give them that opportunity. Patriotism is not a short and frenzied outburst of emotion. It's a tranquil and steady dedication of a lifetime. Patriotism is a marathon, not a sprint. Every single day. Adlai Stevenson. I could not, for the life of me, think of another quote from Adlai Stevenson, but that's a really good one, and I like it, so I'll give him credit for that one. All right, so the Cub Scout promise. Hey, the boys are promising something. We say it, and we learn it, and but we don't. I don't think do a good enough job telling the boys they're promising something. They're promising to do duty to God and country, to help other people, and obey the law of the pack. It's a promise, and a promise means something. So, if we're saying these things and it's a promise, they need to understand what it means, or else how can they fulfill that promise? When we teach citizenship, we need to start talking about freedoms. Boys are never going to put, and at least 6 to 11-year-old boys, are never going to put it into these terms. This is what you and I know. This is what we've heard all the time. Freedom of speech, press, freedom of religion. Freedom of association. No boy 6 to 11 is ever going to come up with freedom of association. If they do, wow. That boy is really advanced. I don't know if my son could define association right now. What that means. It means who can get together. Oh yeah, okay. What it means is that we need to start teaching the boys things to their level, about their duties. We see it all the time, especially in this area of sacrifice. There is tons and tons of opportunities to show them different sacrifices, whether it be civil servants, whether it be our military, whether it be teachers, whether sometimes it be somebody just as simple as the fact that someone goes around and works at a soup kitchen every week. Sacrifice. They sacrifice their time, their effort. And then we need to also talk to them about, and this is also important for the parents to start talking to them about, so involve your parents in the program, responsibilities of a citizen. Vote, obey the law, provide service, be informed, and seek changes if required. I'm hoping that your parents already know these things. I'm hoping that they're already passed, but not all of them are. It's not a time to shame them. This is a time to model good citizenship. That's your job when you put on a shirt and you're a volunteer leader. Modeling the right way. Whether it be citizenship, trustworthiness, courtesy. That's your job. Model it. That's what you should be doing. Okay, so citizenship is all throughout Cub Scouts. The basis of scouting, participating citizenship is one of the 3 aims of scouting. Of course it's through everything. Every single rank has things that have to do with citizenship in them, without exception, even from the Tiger all the way up to the Weevil. So, the den leaders are working each year to help their boys reach the rank, and also along the way, citizenship will be involved. Not just one meeting. I'm hoping that you're doing the Pledge of Allegiance every single meeting. I hope you're doing flag folding and understanding some basics on that. I hope you're talking about what's going on in your community and how to help others. These are all citizenships. I'm hoping it's got a larger component than just requirement 2, which is fold a flag. While I appreciate that, that's a good skill, take it a little further. Become Masters, on the other hand, are also providing a program that should be helping the den leaders expand that. Flag ceremonies, recognize and service, bringing in members of the community to thank them in front of the boys and maybe some type of way to assist. Collecting gift cards for Operation Homefront to give to families of soldiers who are deployed who aren't making it. Things to actually stretch themselves to help other people and become participating citizens. That's the Become Master's job. Tiger. See, don't run this down. The slides are going to be available later. These are in tiger. Wolf. Bear. Look how many are in bear. Holy moly. Webelos. Citizenship activity badge is one of the required for Webelos. Citizenship belt loop. There are tons others too. Those are just the basics. Citizenship is throughout all the scouting. Take a moment. Be able to think, how would I articulate my own citizenship? Everyone will say it differently. You're not trying to sway someone to a certain party or anything. You're talking about love of country and how can I make my country, my community better. That's what you're doing. It's not a question of, I need your vote. It's a question of, how can I help you? What can we do for you to make your life better, to make our country better? That's the scouting way. The EDGE. For those who are new or haven't seen this before, EDGE is the teaching mechanism. Wood Badge uses it very extensively, and it's also now making its presence in all the Boy Scout requirements for tenderfoot, second class, and first class. It is using the methodology explain, demonstrate, guide, and enable. What it's doing is allowing you to have a teaching mechanism to where you are leading boys from a point of just explaining a concept all the way to the point where they should be able to take it and run with it and teach others. The guide portion. So you're explaining what freedoms are. You're demonstrating by modeling your activity, flag care, ceremonies, these kind of things. Guide, give them opportunities to start doing these things. Guiding means you're there and providing gentle course correction. And then finally, enable. They should be challenged to put together a service project or something that has to do with citizenship in your community. Give them the opportunity to plan something. Now you may need to be there to make sure it's not scope creep and becomes that we are going to feed every hungry person in Loudoun County. Incredible goal. And I would love to see you be able to do it. But you need to also temper it a little bit with realistic levels to where it's also success oriented. Boys need to reach success. I can set a success goal feeding every person in Loudoun County, but unless I have an amazing amount of capabilities and thousands of people helping me, it's an unrealistic goal. For boys, we need them to stretch their goals, but we need to also get them to a point where they actually can taste a little success, because success begets success, which makes them hungry to do more. So you're there to sort of temper these projects or what they're thinking about. Even tigers can get to this point here. Maybe it's as simple as the tigers are thinking of a way to do a simple service project where they're going to go help clean up an elderly folks' yard in their neighborhood. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. They're teaching about being a participating citizen and helping others in your community. Okay, so we teach respect, responsibility, participation, inclusiveness. Next line is important. The opportunity should be there for Cub Scouts, but we need to let him succeed and fail. Fail? We can't let kids fail. Scouting is one of the only organizations I know where it's very safe to fail. It's okay. Hey, we're going to try this activity. Well, that didn't work for you this time. Well, guys, how can we improve? How can we help each other? How can we be stronger in the learning of what just happened and make things better? The best life lessons come from a failure. Right? We all know not to touch a hot stove, right? Because mommy told you not to? No! It's because you put your hand on the stove. My mom must have told me 1,000 times. I still put my hand on it. I still do it now. Is that hot? Oh yeah, it's hot. What the heck was I thinking, Apparently I didn't learn the lesson very well. But it's okay. Now, failure is not the end state. It's a momentary point. Don't let the boys get to a situation where I have failed, therefore I'll never try again. Provide them tools and assistance and teamwork from their friends, from you, from their parents, to step back up and go, wait a minute, I can still do this. We just need to change something and succeed. They'll be stronger for it. They'll be better men of character because of it. And we'll always ask questions. Truly listen to the answers. Ask leading questions, not yes or no. Because boys, age 6 to 11, unless you're talking about something that really interests them on television, you're not going to get a whole lot unless you ask leading questions. Now, once you prime the pump and one of them starts talking, you have to find a way to move to the next activity, or else they'll be talking for 30 minutes. But that's okay. That's a good meeting sometimes. Letting them articulate, because you know how often that kids actually really get listened to? Never! They don't. I recognize it myself with my kids. I didn't hear a thing they said. And I feel horrible about it later, but I'm like, why didn't I just take a moment to really listen to what he said? It may not have been anything that I could do or anything that is, in my opinion, very important, but to him it was important enough that he wanted to talk about it. As leaders, you can do an amazing service by truly listening to the boys in your den or your pack. Okay, so we're focusing on America's fundamentally good, decent. That there are those who fought and sacrificed. Responsibility to honor the sacrifices, and we have a responsibility to get involved in our community. Basic. Why is it basic? Because they're kids. They're 6 to 11 years old. Avoid complex patriotism issues, civil disobedience, and immigration. I'm going to teach my Cub Scouts about civil disobedience. No! What are you thinking? I can see the Yahoo News on that one. The local Cub Scouts were going to riot and take over bank. No! Yes, that's what we need. We're teaching basic concepts. We're also teaching positive concepts. These are complex. I'm truthfully, as an adult, I'm not sure I like to even sit and talk about some of these for very long, from my point of view. I'm not sure on some of them that I could really articulate fully what I think about it. Definitely don't want a small child, 6 to 11, trying to deal with these really big complex. It has no bearing on their life. Teach them about service to others. That has a bearing. That's something they can do today, tomorrow, grow it bigger and bigger. Okay, so, it's sufficient to say we respect others, we obey the laws, and we obey the directions of our parents. The parents will appreciate that kind of last one too. What you need to do is follow your parents' direction. I don't want to do that. No, you really need to. They are in a position of responsibility of you. You need to show them respect. I don't want to do that. Yes, you should. The parents really appreciate it. Okay, if you do citizenship for even one meeting, the first question that comes up by one Cub Scout, no matter what their age, between 6 to 11, so when the flag touches the ground, we need to burn it, right? No, we don't burn. No. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times that walking along and one boy's, doing and it dips. Oh, we got to burn it now. No, we can't afford that many flags. Okay, we can't do that. We need some more popcorn. It's not. You've got to be ready to answer these questions, but also, because of the news and the constant things going on, we see a lot of pictures of people burning flags in protest. You always get a question from Cub Scouts about it. I had one boy when we were in our wolf year, and he's like, what do we do to people who are burning flags? We don't do anything to people who are burning flags. We don't do anything to people, period. We may encourage them not to do so. We do, by what we say, show that we respect our flag, and we respect the laws of our land, and we want to show that by respect our flag, we have respect for our country and our fellow countrymen. That's what we do as Scouts. But other people have the right to do so. That's a tough concept for a kid. Really tough. I recommend having a inner dialogue in your own head before your very first flag ceremony type or flag care type meeting, so that you're ready to answer that question, because you'll get it. Don't have to be complicated. It needs to come down to, as Scouts, we do not believe in burning flags in protest. The only time that we burn a flag is when it is too worn out to actually be an appropriate representation for our good country. That's a very simple answer. And kids go, okay. They trust you. They'll take it. They're not going to go in some deep philosophical conversation about it, but they'll ask. So be ready for it. You know, we respect the freedom of speech. As Scouts, we absolutely do. All right, so what are the building blocks of training? These are it. Let's go through each one of them. Salute. Why do we salute? Why is it one of the first things we teach the boys? It's a very easy physical thing that allows us to train the boy to show him how to change behaviors. Cub Scouts start here, wrong hand, and it's just a general, here's the Cub Scout salute, there you go. It's a general showing of, this is how you do things. It's a very simple step. But it also is one of the best things, it's a most basic building block because it shows respect. When the boy stops to salute, he's pausing. He's not running, he's not screaming, he's not looking at bugs, he's pausing for just a moment. And 99 times out of 100, he's looking at you in the eyes. For 6 to 11-year-old, that right there is gold. A child looking you right in the eyes, the adult in the eyes, is great. That's why it's a building block. You show respect to your boys doing the same thing. As Cub Master, I absolutely, positively insist on a salute when I provide them an award or thanking them for something they've done. Because I want to show them that it's important for an adult also to show respect to a child. The salute, I'm looking them in my eyes, and they salute back, and they light up because of it. But it's powerful. Flag folding. Flag folding is another great one. It is an opportunity to guide and enable the boys to be able to do it. It's teamwork. There's no way to fold a flag properly in one person. I shouldn't say that. Probably someone would say, oh, I can do it too. It's not appropriate for one person to fold an American flag by themselves. It's teamwork. Yeah, and this is one of those where the adults can come in too, and they're part of the team. You'd be surprised how many parents truthfully don't know how to fold a flag. It's a great bonding experience to do. It allows them to, you can dispel the myth about the touch the ground, burn the flag. It's about leadership. It allows one boy to be the leader of the folding party to that point. Try it again with a different leader. It gives them an opportunity for a very distinct, well-defined activity. How many of those you got? Those are great. This picture right here is actually of a flag that draped the coffin of my neighbor's father. And it was presented to him, not by a military, but by another, and it was folded horribly. It was completely wrong. And he came to my Cub Scout den, and he's like, I would be honored if you young men would actually fold this correctly for my father. My boys disappeared for a moment. Every single one of them went to the bathroom, tucked their shirt in, made themselves as sharp as they could be, and came out and performed beautifully. It made me teary, because truthfully they understood the level of importance, the dignity, and the respect that was being shown. And they did an incredible job. It's a great opportunity. Don't miss it. Flag retirement. Our pack often retires a flag. We often do one almost every single camping trip. Fire, it's a good opportunity. It's a good activity to where the boys can focus from it. They're not just running through the woods. It's a moment of seriousness. There are, no kidding, at least 1,000 flag retirement ceremonies I've seen on the web. Tons of different words, tons of different ways. The cut method, the no cut method, the fold method, the drape method. Don't get lost in the method. It's about dignity. Remind the boys that when the flag has met its useful lifespan, it's no longer an appropriate representation of our country. That is the responsibility of a citizen to retire. The Boy Scouts of America is actually one of the 3 recognized organizations that are recommended for flag retirement. Why? Because we do it with dignity. And we've been doing it for over 100 years. You know, it's not necessarily to have a script, but make sure it's a meaningful ceremony. It is a serious ceremony. And it should involve everyone in the camp or everyone in the group. There should not be some other activity going on close by. It should involve everyone. They should all be involved. What we do often too is after it's all done, I will rescue the grommets from the fire, obviously after the cool. And I will provide the grommets to the flag retirement team as a memento of what they've done. The boys absolutely die to have a grommet. It's so simple. It's all about patriotism and respect. So, but don't forget, today's flags are made out of nylon. I mean, you take a look at most of these flags, they're not the old cotton flags that they used to be. They're nylon. They still fade, but they tend to have a much longer lifespan. Now, there is obviously, everyone's like, hey, you burn nylon, you point off poison gas. Yes, true. Very small amount, but yes. And there is also a continuing movement towards, well, we should recycle. It's up to you on whether you believe recycling is the right way to go or not. Personally, our pack still does a flag burning because it's tradition. But it's not a question of right or wrong, it's a question of what's right for your pack and showing the right dignity. It's an opportunity for me to teach it. There are places that will take a flag for recycling. There's a cost associated with it. Typically a normal size flag, a 3-5 or 4x6, all like these are $4 for the recycling. The $55 is obviously one like a car dealership would have. That's like the huge one. Yeah. So, and that's probably the best one to recycle, that one, because that would put off a lot of gas. And also it would take a million Cub Scouts to pull that in. Now remember, if you are using fire, it is imperative that adults are integral into the ceremony. Anytime you're sticking things to the fire, they have a tendency to flare up. And nylon is no exception. It flares up and it melts fast. The last thing you want to do is get a boy 2nd or 3rd degree burns while retiring the flag. So make sure adults are involved. So you notice there's an adult here in this back corner. That's the one that's actually folding it into the fire. The boys have got it held out. Use an opportunity too. My pack receives almost weekly a flag from a neighbor or someone in the community. Can you retire a flag for us? Absolutely. Use as an opportunity for outreach too of Cub Scouts doing service. Flag displays. How many of you guys know how to display a flag? Hopefully most of you. You know, hold the canton over to the left-hand side, or over to the left-hand side if it's on a horizontal or a vertical. All these are historic United States flags, and they're all displayed that way. How about the placement of the flag? The fact that the flag should be on the speaker's right. Just have to be on their left. You're like, it's on the left. No, it's on the speaker's right. Just like when it's on a car. Hey, it's on the left. No, it's on the passenger's right. 6 of one, half dozen other, right? Your flag full book right here is available. BSA puts it out. It's at the Scout Shop. Great. It's well written. It's also in the boys level with lots of diagrams. I recommend every pack have one. And if you're going to have a pack meeting, like for instance, Den is going to do a flag ceremony, let them have it in advance and let them design their own. Don't do the same one every time. Boys are bored. They don't pay attention as much. There's not as much energy as far as doing it. Let them plan a new one. But by having this, they can plan it in such a way that's still respectful and still meets the necessary guidelines on proper flag etiquette. It's a great thing. Flag displays, create training aids. Reuse them. Their district has a lot of them. You see these boards back here? These 3 boards are my Wood Badge Patrol's project. Wave, Dave, is it still in your garage?
Oh yeah, no, it's in my basement now.
It's in your basement.
We still use them every year.
Absolutely. These are available for use. Obviously, you need to come get them from Dave's house. But other than that, there are lots of opportunities. Check with your other units. Make some of your own. Reuse them. It's great to teach things like that. I mean, the far left one talks about the flag code. The next one is actually quizzing you, what did you learn? And then the last one is actually a building, and you're placing flags in their locations, showing what you learned. Edge. Ceremonies. Absolutely. Yes, please. Do lots of them. Ceremonies are great. There are moments of pause that actually give that kernel of things that's remembered. I could talk here the livelong day, and the boys may not remember what I say, but they'll remember a ceremony, especially if it's a truly interesting one or a unique one. Try to create it, change them around a little bit. Don't make them always the same one. But a ceremony is absolutely important and absolutely imperative in your program. It shows the importance of some things. I always make a really big deal about one flag ceremony each year. And typically I've got spotlights on the floor, I've got the room completely dark, and I always have my tigers come up to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. I got my little tigers with a flag with tons of spotlights on it. Looks really neat. And the tigers love it because they're in the spotlight. This is it. This is as good as it gets for them. They love it. So, flags should always be prominently shown. Okay, uniform. If you're camping, notice that my boys here are not in uniform. They're in their Pack 71 t-shirts. Well, that seems disrespectful. No, it's not. Number one, my parents don't want their boys wearing their Cub Scout uniform out camping. They spend a lot of money on the shirt, and heaven forbid, we go out there and they run around and tear it on a tree. Yeah, that'd be the last time that parent would probably send me many, many nasty letters. They're wearing the Pack 71 t-shirt. They understand the seriousness of what's going on. Look on their faces. They're not running around where, these boys are focused. They understand we are involved with something that's very sacred. So it really doesn't matter what they do. It just so happens that I always like, hey guys, put your Pack 71 t-shirt. Look more uniform. Stand out. Now I'm in my full uniform because I don't run around and tear my shirt on trees. Patriotic songs. Teach your kids to sing patriotic songs. God Bless America. That's a tough one. Yankee Doodle. That's a good one. There's a lot of kids songs that are patriotic based. Kids love to sing them. If they don't know the words, provide them the words. Put them on the board. Put them on a poster. Print out a little thing and hand it up. Obviously the tigers, they won't be able to read it too well, but some of the other ages will. And then you have an adult or somebody helping the tigers along. So, just remember that the national anthem should not be used as background music. All other patriotic music, fair game. National anthem is not a background music. It is a foreground music. That's patriotism and respect. Encourage the boys to memorize the national anthem. It's not that hard. They've been to enough ball games, they got it. The hard part is whether they say home of the Braves. That's the hardest part, you got to break them up. So, when I was a kid, we learned the first and the fourth verse. Fourth verse is actually more meaningful than the first verse. Field trips. Yes, please. Go on lots of them. We are by far in Northern Virginia steeped in history. You can't swing a stick without hitting something. Did you guys know the United States Constitution was whisked away to Leesburg to protect it during the War of 1812 during the burning of Washington, D.C.? I didn't know that. We were walking along like, hey, there's the building. No way! I think I was more excited than the kids were at that moment, but I made them more excited. Do you know what was in here? You gotta give them a little energy. But it was great. There are tons of trail medals. There's tons of all kinds of citizenship-based things. Monuments. Lots of opportunities. One of my dreams in probably the next year is to take my boys up to Fort McHenry to go for the, to up there. This year would be tough just because it's the anniversary. And let's face it, everybody and their brother, it's been really crowded there. But the next year will be the year after the anniversary. That'll be the year to go. So we'll go then. But there are lots of opportunities here, and they're not that far to drive. And I'm willing to bet that most of your parents haven't been to these places in forever. Great opportunities. Events. It is the 150th anniversary of the American Civil War. Next June will be the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg. There promises to be 40,000 reenactors there. Lots of shooting and gun cannons and stuff. You don't think boys would actually love that and actually might learn a little history because they're out there going, this is great! Absolutely. It's a great opportunity. Strike while the iron is hot. These are great learning. Civil War reenactors, American Revolutionary War, 1812 reenactors, they love to teach history. It's as if history came alive. Use these folks. Tons of opportunities. Look at the papers or events. Every single week there's an event somewhere around here which has historical significance or gives the boys a chance to see citizenship in action. Great opportunities. 4th of July parades. How many of you guys actually participate in a 4th of July parade? Good. Pack 71 does too. This last year I bought these historic flags. I had the boys, each 2 boys carrying a historic flag. Why did I do it? Number one, because it made us unique. It was different. The boys enjoyed it, and the fact that these flags, most of the flags, they didn't know what they were, and I had them look them up. Hey, give me your family, look them up, figure it out. I mean, you know, the Star Spangled Banner, what makes it unique? 15 stripes. How about the surface? What makes it unique? Seriously? It's got blue stripes. You know, yeah, there's lots of opportunities here. The Betsy Ross flag, Bunker Hill flag, all these flags. And also what it helped me do too was the fact that every 2 boys were carrying a flag, everybody was involved. It was great. It wasn't just one person with a pack flag and one with the United States and the rest of them moseying around like a bunch of cats. It was great. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I had 18 good boys, occupied, and happy, and proud carrying on their flags. They did a great job. Parades are a great opportunity. Boys love being in them. They may say, I don't want to be there. When they're in them, they just light up. They have a great time. Parents do too. They may not admit it, but they have a great time too. Service projects. Okay. Now let's get down to the real meat of things. The easiest way for us as scout leaders to teach citizenship is by helping other people. The boys are not old enough to vote, even though we can teach them about the importance of votes. It doesn't help because they're not actually doing it. Hopefully they're going with their parents to the polls and listening and talking to their parents about what does it mean, what do you believe in, because you want them to, as a family unit, start talking about what it means to be a citizen as well. But as a scout troop, dinner pack, you need activities that sort of bring this home. You know, service projects. By teaching, helping others, we are showing them about how can we help the community. Scouting for food, easy one. Every Cub Scout pack does scouting for food. How long do you actually talk to the boys about what you're really doing? Hey, we're helping the hungry. That's about what most people say right there. Done. Right? Take a moment. Ask them, what do you think it means to someone who goes in, has a day where they're just not going to have enough to eat to that day? How do you think it, what do you think it does? How does their day go? Do you think they look forward to their next day of that? No. What do you think it means when somebody, out of the blue, out of the kindness of their heart, provides a meal? It's very powerful. The boys actually get it. Give them an opportunity. Lead them along. Let them hear these kind of things. Let them understand the magnitude of what they're doing. Goose Creek District collected 106,000 and some odd change pounds of food last year. 106,000 pounds. As a Cub Master, what I do with my boys is I will actually put it in perspective as I understand as in their weight. I will estimate that each tiger is 45 pounds and each wolf is 50. And I'll go, okay. And I know what my total is. And I said, okay, all you boys stand up. No, not enough. All you boys stand up. Not enough. And get them together. This is how much food we gathered. Do you know that in general, it's estimated that about 12 pounds of food is what each person needs per day? Sounds like a lot. Most of us like 12 pounds seems like an exceptional lot. But really, the estimate when people are putting together budgets with food for food closets is 12 pounds. Family of 5 needs 60 pounds of food a day. A lot of food. What Goose Creek collects, 106,000 pounds, doesn't last quite 3 months for the amount of need in this county last year. This year I'm willing to bet it's probably not even close to that. These are the kind of facts. Let your boys understand the magnitude of what they're doing. Coat drives, Christmas. Down here in the lower end here, our pack every November, we put together shoe boxes full of toys and things for those who might not get Christmas. Everyone goes to Five Below or a dollar store and picks up all kinds of things, and the boys have a great time building these toy packages. Last year, we put together 53 of them. We filled a car. And we blessed the church going, here you go. And they're like, hey, wow, thank you. You're welcome. We're scouts. This is what we do. And the boys had an amazing time with it. So these are great opportunities. Take them. Local charities, YMCA, your churches, your charter organization. See if your charter organization has any kind of charitable outreach. Work with it. Expand it. Show the boys what it means to be participating citizens and helping people at all times. Service projects to the community. Protecting our natural resources is important too. Taking care of our the nature and what's around us. Don't forget to leave no trace. There are lots of opportunities for leave no trace training. Dave, you're a leave no trace trainer, right?
I am.
He is. Dave Gardy.
Teaching at powwow.
Teaching at powwow too. Lots of opportunities. Maybe you know that much about leave no trace. There are plenty of other leaders who can expand that knowledge and allow you to impart it to your boys to where they are respecting their environment and they're out there making a difference, putting action to work. Great opportunity for service and citizenship. Cub Scout World Conservation Award. How many times do you see a boy wearing one of those? Not very often, do you? It's a shame. Look up the requirements. There's different requirements for each rank. It's not that hard. Encourage the boys to earn these kind of things. It comes with pride and it comes with service and citizenship. Extracurricular awards. Tons of them. You can't shake a stick sometimes. Between trail medals, Youth Patriotism Awards, my program, the United States Heritage Award, American Legion Post Award. I like this one, the Jimmy Stewart Good Citizenship Award. No, Mary, you gotta go to Jimmy Stewart. They're great. Kids will understand who Jimmy Stewart is, but that doesn't matter. You know. And you'll have a rep named Harvey there to help you. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Pick one. The boys will love it, and these are opportunities for you to, create more of a legacy of the boys wanting to help. Resources, okay. Citizenship test, testing. Look for people, I bet there are people in your pack who are first-generation Americans. Have a unique perspective of what citizenship means versus someone who, their grandparents have been here, and their great-grandparents, etc., etc. Use these things as contrast. Show what citizenship means to each person. Bring in people from their school, civil servants, there are tons of local military units, the National Guard. These are folks who are sacrificing. Have them speak to the boys. The boys will eat it up. Veterans Association. Lastly, know your parents. You'd be surprised the level of expertise and experience your parents have. Okay, citizenship. Remember, boys are watching everything you do. You need to model participating citizenship. Don't just talk the talk. You got to walk the walk too. Keep the subject interesting. Remember the whole rule. If you talk to boys more than 5 minutes without actually doing an activity, you lost them. 5 minutes. Clock's ticking. Okay, I'll talk to you for 3.5 minutes. Now we're going to get up and do something. Yay! Okay, we're going to talk for 3 or 4 more minutes. Okay. You're bringing them back and forth to keep them interested. That's great. And get them going. Find something that they're interested in. Have fun doing it. You don't stress about the material. Go from what you know and what you believe. If we're teaching them to help other people and participating in citizenship, action behind words, being informed, that's all that matters. We'll be teaching them the right thing. All right, so we talked about service projects. What I love about service projects is they always show up on the calendar of my pack. We always put 2 down every year, and always about a week out. Oh, we got a service project this weekend. Okay, at that point we're doomed. We don't have a chance on that service project because we didn't plan. We didn't do a lot of things. We didn't set up what we're going to do. We didn't plan what's necessary to do it. We didn't actually publicize it well enough for a good turnout. And we didn't get the boys jazzed about it. The boys have to have buy-in and want to and be excited. This year, God bless, we got new leaders and they actually have planned it out 2 months in advance and it's going to work and it's going to be great. It's not going to be our typical, oh, we got one this weekend. That noise was poor. But make sure it's safe, make sure it's age appropriate, make sure that you've got it towards a successful level for boys that you're going to be participating. If it's a tiger den service project, it better be very simple and it better be very parent-centric because the parents are your partners. If it's a Weeblo one, try to make as much, well, the Weeblos are doing all the work. It's good for them. And it also is a preparation for the service projects and such they're going to do in Boy Scouting, which are boy-led. It's a great opportunity. Try to have more than one a year. If you're doing Journey to Excellence, you need to do more than one service project a year. If I remember correctly, I think you need to do at least 2, one of them being with your charter organization to get bronze. I think 3 for silver, I think 4 for gold, if I remember correctly. It's a lot of service projects. It requires planning. It almost requires you to have a parent who's dedicated to planning them and sort of coordinating them. As a leader, don't kill yourself adding that to find an adult parent who has a heart for it. There always is somebody. Scouting for food. Miss Stacy Knowles back here, with a bunch of pile of food. She can speak to more of that as far as training and things going on. The thing to remember here is that it's November 3rd, put out bags, November 10th, collect the food. There is a training on October 18th at 7 p.m. at Our Savior's Way Lutheran Church. Why do we need training to put bags on the door? You really don't. It's down to this: coordinating where your package responsibility is, gathering your bags, and understanding how the food drop-off on November 10th will work. Right? Stop communication. It's important to go to. Send at least one person for your pack. Points of contact. Stacy's your primary contact. Mike Perry, our professional scouter, is your secondary. If you are a brand new pack, you've never done it before, definitely talk to them because you need to find out where your territory is or where, so you're not bumping into other units that are doing the same thing. Hey, there's always already bags on these doors. Oh, that's bad. Because you are not in a unique territory. Let's canvass this entire community. There are lots of people who want to give. Let's get their food and get it to those who need it. District Award of Merit to Silver Beaver. We just had the annual awards dinner, and we actually had 3 awardees for the District Award of Merit. District Award of Merit is the highest level that the district can provide for those who have taken to volunteerism and scouting that much further. If you know someone like that, let us know. Put in the application form. The deadline for the next crop is November 31st. Don't think it has to be Baden Powell incarnate. You know a lot of people who do tons of great work. Nominate them. We'll compare them and we'll get, but nominate them. Get their name out there. Silver Beaver is the highest award that the council can bestow. That one's different in the fact that the council is, the district really doesn't have a lot to do it except for the fact that we have a committee that's here to help you write the application, because how the Silver Beaver Award application is written really makes a big difference on the selection process. Typically, a Silver Beaver is 10 years of scouting experience, very invested in the community, other youth organizations. It's quite an honor. It's amazing. Peggy Durbin, our district director, is actually a Silver Beaver recipient, along with Alan Steiner and several others of our district. So it is quite an honor. Popcorn! Yay! Hopefully you're selling right now. The online sales are going all the way to November 30th. The final orders are due from all units November 16th. That sounds like a long way. Wrong! 1 month away. Not that far. It is a great opportunity to make money for your pack, and also 30% of it or 32% goes also to the council. It's important. It helps out a lot. Fall Expo next weekend at Camp Snyder. If you haven't registered, it's all right. They take walk-ons. It is a great opportunity to go and enjoy a lot of different scouting activities. Yes, there's shooting sports, but there'll be tons of other fun scouting activities. It's almost like I've heard it's a scouting fair is what I'm hearing. I like that. And I hear it at Miami's fair like food. I like that too. So it's a great opportunity. Down to Snyder. Snyder is doing a great job of putting together events like these that are opportunities for parents and their boys to go and have a fun time in scouting. Powwow. How many of you already registered for Powwow? Not many. How many of you know that Powwow registration is open? It's open. Oh yeah, it's open. I've already checked how many people have signed up for my classes, and there's some already. Yes, it is available for sign up. Highly recommended. Absolutely recommended. Powwow is an opportunity to meet 600 other Cub Scout leaders. I think there is 52 courses this year. Pretty much anything you can think of you want to learn, it's there. The instructors there, with the exception of me, are great. I just sort of make my appearance and do stuff. But there are some incredible, I love taking courses from all these instructors. I find their way of approaching things is so informative. Yes, sir?
Question, how many people have a training budget?
I don't know, my pack doesn't, but we ought to, dadgummit.
I've already factored that into mine. I figured I need to have 4 feasibilities to live, and I need to have all my identity facilities.
Okay, That's actually absolutely great.
Cost us $400.
Baloo, a good point too. Baloo is offered here. Make sure that your pack has at least 2 Baloo trained personnel, so that when you go camping and one of your Baloo has to go home or something happens or you get called back to work, you don't have to pick up all your tents and leave. Great opportunity for that. Tons of great courses. Sign up, you'll have a fun time. Guaranteed. District is always looking for help, not necessarily to step up front and do what I'm doing now, but for small events, whether it be helping coordinate with scouting for food, whether it be day camp help, whether it be simply you just need outreach to some smaller group or something. Communication to different troops and packs. Always an opportunity. Look for how you can help. The knots are changing. There is a deadline now on some of these. They have stopped manufacturing all these knots. They're moving to more of the green on tan and the green and white on tan. Should that make a big difference? No. But just know that if folks want to work towards these, you need to sort of focus on them. The Tiger and the Den Leader Award, I think the deadline for those are December 31st, 2012. And Cub Master and Pack Trainer, I think, is 2013. And then they transition completely. So pay attention to that. Whoever's tracking this for your pack, make sure you're looking at it. But make sure you're tracking it for your leaders. Reward them for their service. Bring them up front of the pack and express your gratitude because they do amazing work. Also, speaking of great work and such, Dave Carney has provided me already the dates for next year's day camp and twilight camp. Don't tell me we don't tell you the date soon enough. It's October and I'm telling you the date. June 17th through 21st. So put it on your calendar. Start talking it up. It's never too early to get on your parents' calendar. I tell you what, if I miss January, most of my people, oh, we've already planned our summer. Oh yeah? I got it in November. What you gotta do now? You're going to camp. So no, June 17th through 21. More information will be on the website soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's some handouts back there.
And some handouts out back there. Wood badge. Wood badge. Wood badge. Great opportunity. Talked about it a little bit right before we broke up. Wood badge by far. I can't speak highly enough of the course. It's not just a question of going, oh, it's just one more scout training course. I don't need another scout training. It's not a scout training course. It is a leadership. It is a training course about providing legacy and actually being an educator of others and being it's about teamwork. It's about the stages of team development. It's about communication. It's about conflict, resolution. It's about so much more. Scouting just happens to be the vehicle it's in. It is a great course, highly recommended. The next course is spring 2013, April 12th, 14th, May 17th, 19th, and then there's another one in the fall. Put it on your calendar. Figure it out. Put it in your schedule. Valuable. There's not a single leader that I can think that will not benefit from this course. Absolutely mountaintop experience. Incredible. All right. Stop, start, continue. Make sure you're doing this with your units, especially after committee meetings and meetings with as far as the program with the Cub Master and your den leaders. It's very important to be doing this. You need to make a conscious effort. What are we doing? What should we continue to do? What should we stop doing? What should we start doing? Take the time. It pays incredible dividends. Absolutely it does. For me here at Roundtable, my stop, start, and continue is over there. I have a parking lot. It's a box with index cards. Please, if you have something you would like to see us start doing, stop doing, or continue, put it on the card. It can be anonymous. You can put your name on it. Either way, put it in my box. That tells me how I need to go forward and make sure I'm putting together a better program for you, the customer. Because that's the whole purpose. Your time is valuable and I need to make sure I'm providing you what you need. So, use this. I even use stop, start, continue with my boys once they got to bear age. Bears and weeblos, we used to do it. You'd be surprised how insightful the boys were a lot of times. Obviously they always say, Mr. Kale, we don't want to do anything more about the food pyramid. Well, we still have to do the food pyramid. That's a requirement. I'll add something else. Yeah, but no, they will throw out stuff like, can't we do this? That's a great idea. And if you can incorporate ideas from the boys, they have got ownership and it's just that much more powerful and they're just that much more energized by what you're doing. Parking lot, like I was talking about, anything you need, anything you want to publicize, something you want to get onto the Facebook pages or get out to the district, put it in there. Anything that you are having a problem with that we can help you with, let us know. Questions, put it in the parking lot. I have a lot of people come talk to me afterwards, and if I can help you then, great, but my memory is starting to really stink. I'm suffering from a serious overload of information, and to do the best I can to meet all those requirements by being in that parking lot, it makes me have a tangible, yes, I must take care of this. Yes, I must take care of this. It's my action item. So please do. Also, that applies to anything, information you need to get to any other district person or any other district event. Please put it on there. We'll make sure we take a look at it. Upcoming events. Den Chief Training, October 13th. That's Saturday. I've got it bolded. Why do I have it bolded? Well, number one, it's coming up really fast. But number two, Den Chief is probably one of the least utilized methodology in Cub Scouts that has the most power. Having a Boy Scout, a more senior Boy Scout there as a role model, a boy role model, is powerful. The boys look up to him. He's almost them, but he's not quite them. He's how they can see themselves in a few years. They can't see themselves as you, because we're old. My son will constantly tell me, "You're old." Yes, I am. Thank you for noticing it, and I feel great about it. But Den Chiefs are boys that are 14, 13, 14, 15, that general range, and they've been in scouting. They understand. It's not been so long that they don't, and they're a great opportunity to be boy leaders and mentors. They're great examples. The reason I have Den Chief training up here, you're like, well, why do I care about the training? If you are going to employ a Den Chief training, it's not required, but I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, it is imperative that you as a leader also go to the Den Chief training. Why? Because you need to know what's being taught to the Boy Scouts who are going to be Den Chiefs, and to understand what a Den Chief is supposed to do and not supposed to do. Because it's very easy to still, oh, I know what I'm supposed to do with them. Really? To truly get the power from it, it's good to understand what their role is. Just like they're going to understand what your role is, and they'll be explained to them what their role will be. If you guys are on the same page of music, it will be a great partnership. So I highly recommend any leader go to this. Even if you don't know, I don't know if you're going to get a Den Chief anytime soon, having somebody or one or two in your pack who understands the role of Den Chief and has received the training helps out immeasurably. Because then at that point, you understand, okay, well, I understand what we're going to do with this. And when we talk to a scoutmaster and a senior patrol leader from another troop who has some boys that are interested, we can ask the right questions. We know exactly how they'll fit into organization and what it'll do to help us and how we can help them. Very valuable.
You know how powerful the program was? When Cub Scouting first started, there were no den leaders.
That's correct.
Den Chiefs ran.
They ran the den. Now you're talking about, now we are old. Yeah. Scouting for Food and Fall Expo. Facebook. Hey, our numbers are increasing. Yay! Like us, love us. I'm trying to post tons of things out there. It is wide open. Anybody can post things on there. I do moderate it for content to make sure it's appropriate. But put out there things your unit's doing that you want other people to know about. Activities in the community that you think are applicable or important in scouting. Put things up there. There's a lot of communication that's starting to start. Thank you for those who are posting and sending emails and such, because it definitely provides fodder for me to put more information out there. But the more communication out there we do, the better it is for our district and the better cross-pollination of ideas. Scouting is not, you're not out there alone. You're part of a team with a dedicated purpose, and there's a lot of power in that team. So let's share ideas in that regard too. And we have two of them. We have the Goose Creek District, and we also have the Goose Creek District Cub Scout Roundtable. I often will post district things to both, but only Cub Scout specific, only to the Roundtable. So I apologize if you get double sometimes, but if something applies to both Cub Scout, it'll go to both, just to make sure, because I can't be sure that somebody's not registered to one and not the other. Next Roundtable is November 14th. Gosh, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, right? So let's talk about citizenship for just a quick second. Just a quick minute, Commissioner's minute, and then I'll let you go. Okay, so it's election year. Really? It's been going on for 24 months, right? We've heard everything there is to hear. We've heard good news, bad news, hateful news, non-hateful news. We've heard it all. As a leader of Cub Scouts, our job is not to sort out which point of view is right and which point of view is wrong. I have boys who come out and who will state, and I can hear as if they are parroting their parents' voice, something about one candidate or another, and it's almost always negative. I'll have a boy say, well, you know, so-and-so is, you know, is horrible because he does this. As a Cub Master, my job is, well, that may be true, but what would you do? How would you make things better? I have to turn it around. It's your responsibility to turn it around, to remember, to teach them. It's easy to tear somebody else down. It's harder a lot of times to stick out your hand going, how can I help you? What can we do? How can we succeed together? My work, no one does that. It's always about stabbing someone else in the back. If I had one day of everyone want to work together for success, I might actually have a stroke because I would be so confused. I would think I would be in some dream state. But it would be spectacular. And that's what scouting is. We view, how can I help you? You know, ask not what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country. Well, you know, it really applies in scouting. Ask not what, you know, what we're going to, you know, it's going to do for us. How can we help you? How can I help my fellow scout, parents, my community? Turn it around. Give the boys an opportunity to think positively. It's easy to think negatively. That's not our job. Our job is to make them think positively about success and lifting others up and helping them. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. These are the rules we live by. Help them get there. Thank you all so much for your time. I know it's valuable, and I appreciate you want to spend it with me. It's great. Have a great rest of the month. Don't stress. There's plenty of stuff that's going to happen no matter what you do, right? Have a good night. Thanks so much. If you can do me a favor, put the chairs back, I would really appreciate it.